Polo had always been restless. His life looked ordinary from the outside. A small apartment, a modest career, friends who admired him. But inside, he felt hollow, like a river running underground, unseen. He longed for something real, something that could shake him awake. At one evening, while rifling through old journals, he found a note he had scribbled as a young man. "Seek the road that teaches, not the place that promises." It was like a spark, a whisper, and that whisper grew into a call he could no longer ignore. The first step is always the hardest. Paulo carried doubt like stones in his pockets. What if I fail? What if the road teaches nothing? But the path awaited. He left the comfort of his city, boarding a train to Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port, where the Camino de Santiago began. On the train, an elderly woman smiled at him and said, "The road will give you what you need, not what you want." Paulo barely understood it then, but he tucked the words in his heart. Walking through the unknown. The first day, Paulo's legs ached. Every step felt like a question. Am I really ready? But the forest whispered back, rustling leaves like encouragement. And then, something small but profound happened. A single blue butterfly landed on his shoulder. He stopped, amazed, watching it flutter away. It seemed absurd, but he felt it was a sign. Even in the smallest miracles, the road had begun to speak. First night, solitude and reflection. That night he wrote by the light of a flickering lantern. Alone he confronted old fears, failures, regrets, and self-doubt. As he wrote, a tiny bird hopped near the fire, unafraid. It chirped once, then flew into the night sky. Paulo laughed quietly, feeling the bird's courage seep into him. The road was already teaching him, courage sometimes comes in the smallest forms. Days passed and the road tested him. A sudden storm turned paths to mud, rain soaking him to the bone. Paulo slipped. He wanted to give up. Then he saw her, a young girl, no more than 10, holding an umbrella under a ruined bridge. She waved at him, smiling, and offered a warm loaf of bread to another stranded pilgrim. Paulo accepted nothing, yet the gesture warmed him more than any coat could. In that small, unexpected kindness, he found a miracle. Hope is everywhere, even when it seems the world is harsh. He met Elena, a retired nurse walking to find forgiveness after her husband's death. She taught him that sorrow could coexist with joy if one learned to hold both. Carlos, a young man fleeing a corporate life, showed him the strength in starting over. And there were countless others, each a living story, each leaving an imprint. Paulo realized miracles are often human, the gift of empathy, the courage to share one's own vulnerability. The Camino is full of signs, shells carved into stones, old crosses marking the path, inscriptions on chapel walls. Paulo began noticing them not with his eyes, but with his heart. One evening, as he rested beside an ancient fountain, a sudden rainbow arched across the sky. No one else seemed to notice it, yet Paulo felt it as a message. Keep walking. You are on the right path. Sometimes the miracles were visible. Sometimes they were felt in silence, as quiet confirmations of being on the right road. Walking for hours alone, Paulo confronted his inner demons: fear, regret, self-doubt. One night, sitting atop a hill under the stars, he whispered aloud, "I am tired of carrying myself like this." Then, unexpectedly, a shooting star crossed the sky. He laughed, feeling absurdly, childishly that the universe had heard him. In that fleeting moment, the darkness felt less oppressive, a reminder that even in despair, Light finds a way. Each day brought new wonders. Sunrises painted the hills in gold. Rivers sparkled in the morning light. Wildflowers grew in impossible colors along forgotten paths. Paula began seeing that miracles weren't only extraordinary events, they were ordinary moments seen fully. A smile, a shared meal, the quiet hush of dawn. And with each of these moments, he felt his heart opening, his restless spirit calming. By the third week, Paulo had changed. His steps were deliberate, his thoughts clearer, his heart lighter. The road had taught patience, the solitude had taught reflection, the hardships had taught resilience. Every small miracle, a bird, a rainbow, a kind smile, had accumulated into a profound sense of wonder. He was not the same man who had begun this journey. When he finally arrived at the cathedral, Paulo felt no grand epiphany, only gratitude. Gratitude for every step, every hardship, every stranger, every miracle along the way. He knelt, whispered a silent thanks, and understood. The pilgrimage had been more than a journey across Spain. It had been a journey into himself. Every step, every small wonder, had been a teacher. And now Paulo carried the road inside him, forever alive. Life is full of journeys, both literal and unseen. Some paths are long, some short. Some bring pain, others delight. But miracles, both big and small, accompany every true step. The bird, the rainbow, the stranger's smile, they're reminders that the road itself teaches, and the destination is only the mirror. Every journey begins with a single step. Every struggle, every small miracle, every moment of reflection, they shape who we are. Just like Paulo's pilgrimage, your path in life is full of lessons waiting to be discovered. Sometimes the road will challenge you. Sometimes it will surprise you with wonder. But if you keep walking with hope in your heart, you will find strength, courage, and joy beyond measure. Here at Journey of Hope, we believe every story can inspire, every journey can teach, and every step can change your life.